Hey everybody, welcome back, and welcome to data management and how it affects my company. So what this session is really about is, there's a lot of different data management solutions out there, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing as to really what level of data management do I need for my company and the situation they're in, or my processes. And we just want to take a little bit of time this morning or I guess this afternoon now, to just go over, where do these really fit and what kind of capability can you get out of them? So, data is a big deal. It's getting bigger and bigger every day. And we need to be able to really tame it and control it, because unsecured data is very, very dangerous. We don't want to lose any of our data. It's incredibly important. And more than ever these days, it's really coming down to data and data collaboration across entire companies and across many departments and teams. And it's important to know, what are your options and how do you get to the result that you want? So we're going to look at a few different options today. So we're going to be taking a look at SOLIDWORKS PDM. We'll be taking a look at SOLIDWORKS Manage. We'll take a look at PLM Solution, Eris, Innovator, and we'll take a look at DelmiaWorks ERP. So these are all different levels of managing your data, and they all have different uses, and they all have different areas of the company that they're really going to affect. So first thing we're going to start with is PDM, and the first kind of level of PDM really, generally it's made for and touches R&D and engineering. It's very much revision centric. With a little bit of automation. Of course, this is SOLIDWORKS PDM Standard. So this is a light version of the professional offering. And really what this is about, it gives you that vault. It gives you that security on your files. Right now, if your files are sitting on different computers or sitting on a shared drive or something like that, they are not secure. Even if you start putting in, different permissions and stuff like that, you don't have the revision control. You're going into _2 _final _ don't change this. Seriously, it's the last one. PDM right off the bat is going to solve that, right? It's also going to allow you to manage a couple different file formats. So you're going to get SolidWorks, you're going to get DWG or AutoCAD, right? And when I say manage, I mean you're going to be able to preview these files without opening them. You're going to be able to have data cards so that you can have metadata attached to these files that you can search on. You're also going to have things like contains and where used and bills of materials. And of course, with standard, the big difference is that you're limited to just those two. Now, you are going to get workflow and a little bit of automation, but you're only going to get one, right? So this is really good for a team that maybe only needs to use this for approvals, right? I submit this for approval, they say yes, and maybe it goes and it creates a PDF, which is the output that you can get from PDM Standard. So generally for a smaller engineering team, but really this gets you started with that data management and with securing your files. If you've got nothing at all, PDM Standard is a great place to start. And the nice thing about PDM Standard as well is it can be upgraded. You're not stuck there and then have to go to another migration if you want something else. For instance, PDM Professional. And PDM Professional really expands out the areas of the company that we can start including, right? Typically with Pro, you start including more of the manufacturing side of things, more of the quality, and I haven't even highlighted, but even sometimes marketing nowadays, because Composer, Visualize, all integrated with SOLIDWORKS PDM. So a lot more of the company is going to be active on SOLIDWORKS PDM Professional, right? And with Pro, you get everything that you get in Standard, of course, but it's expanded in functionality. Right. So if you want to start dealing with documents like Office documents and PDFs, images, you can see we can handle inventor files as well. So now these are all managed files types. So we can preview them without opening, and we have those data cards, and we have that contains where used, just a little bit more robust on that front. There's hundreds of different file formats right out of the box that PDM Professional supports. Also have add-ins as well. So if you're switching over from a Creo or Solid Edge, there's add-ins that give you integration of PDM inside of those environments as well. So you have different areas where you don't have to jump out into the PDM file environment inside of Windows Explorer. Everything is kind of at your fingertips. with Pro. Of course, you also have workflow, just like you have in Standard, but you have unlimited workflow. So this really opens up into things like engineering change, right? We've got the Java engineering change module, which does that for you. It has that workflow for you. So when it comes to handling change, non-conformance, really anything that you want to automate right now that's manual, you can do in Pro. You're not just limited to that one approval workflow. So if you do want that automation, if you do want to save that time, Pro is probably a better thing to look at. You also have more output file types, right? So beyond PDF, you can output step files. You can output DXFs for things like laser cutting. You can output 3D PDFs if you're using model-based definition, especially when it comes to using that PMI in the manufacturing environment. Also, you have a full API, so you can connect to external business systems as well. So think bill of materials and pushing those out. So you do have a lot more capability with SOLIDWORKS PDM Professional. And beyond that as well, you also have access in different ways. So we can access it from the web. If you are out of the office, you could be a salesperson on the road. Maybe you need to log in, start up a new, a new RFQ or something like that, or start up a change based on a customer request. Or maybe you're just a manager and you're out and about and you need to make an approval on the go. The Web 2 is a great way to have full access to your vault, really anywhere that you can have an internet connection, right? Especially if you're on an unsupported machine. You might be on a Mac, not a big deal. You can just log into the Web 2. Right. You also have full replication capabilities. So if you have multiple offices and you want everybody working on the same file set, which is always the best case scenario, you can replicate those different archive servers to make sure that everybody's working on the latest and greatest and everybody is collaborating on a single source of data and that everything maintains its security. The nice thing as well is that if you don't want to have this on site, we also have cloud options for SOLIDWORKS PDM as well. So if you'd rather host it in the cloud, maybe you just don't want to get into the replication side, but you still want to have multiple people connecting to it, or you just don't want the IT infrastructure, right? Sometimes you don't want to, pay an IT company to maintain this. You don't want to have to buy hardware for this stuff. We can host it in the cloud. We've got tons of experience with this. We're fully certified in AWS and Azure for cloud solutions. And this is something we're doing a lot of these days. So that's absolutely an option as well when it comes to PDM. So PDM, again, and you kind of saw we're more of the engineering, manufacturing, dabbling in inspection and a little bit in your technical publication and stuff like that. And then there's SOLIDWORKS Manage. So SOLIDWORKS Manage is going to be using the power of PDM, but really this is a full company solution. This is going to touch every department that you need it to touch, right? And really the way that it works, again, we have all of that power of PDM. We have all of that automation capability, which is incredibly robust in PDM. And SOLIDWORKS Manage just integrates. It's right on top of PDM and extends its capabilities, right, into true BOM management, item management, project management, right, live dashboards and reports, which is one of my favorite parts personally, and just deeper data integration as well with other systems, just being able to connect directly to a number of different database types and schemas. Right, so whether it's housing different item types that you don't model so that you can have a more complete bill of materials, or building different variations of a bill of material. Companies need to have a bit of flexibility. They've got E-bombs, they've got M-bombs, they've got shipping bombs and kits and all types of stuff that they want to be able to put together. And they need to be able to manipulate that really easily. And Manage is a great way to do that and keep it all in one spot, especially with 2021. Stick around for that. There's some crazy stuff coming in bill of materials, right? Connected project management in Manage. This is something that a lot of companies don't have experience with because project management's never been connected. It's always been a separate thing with tasks and Gantt charts, but there's been no real-time feedback on what's getting done in SOLIDWORKS, what's getting done in PDM. None of that stuff's ever been connected before, and Manage brings that to you. So you get real-time updates on your project management, on your tasks, capacity planning to make sure that you're not overloading your resources on different projects, and managing multiple projects at the same time. This is incredibly robust and a huge value add. And this is, again, is touching that project management side. It's a different department in the company, right? You've got advanced process control. These link into PDM workflow, but it's visual and it's company-wide. Everybody's going to be able to see this, right? They're going to be able to see what step you're at, who's responsible for it, how long it's been there. to make sure that everybody stays on task, and you can see where you've been if you need a record of decision or multiple sign-offs for a different stage. And this is one of my favorite parts. The reporting in the dashboard, visualizing our data, is huge. You get the real-time dashboard capability so that you can see right away if there's any trends, whether it's in the wrong direction or the right direction. You can have as many dashboards as you want. They are fully permissible, so you can make sure only certain people can see certain things, and you can amalgamate multiple data sources into one dashboard. If you want to be able to pull information from an ERP, if you want to pull information from another database, mix it together, show any information that you need to in real time. It's pretty amazing what these things can do. So we've seen PDM, we've seen a little bit of what when managed about. We can kind of see that they're touching different areas of the company. Eris is another one of those options that really is a company-wide solution. Now it is for larger companies generally. So Eris starts about 100 users. So it is for a larger company, but it does give you full PLM capabilities, right? With lifecycle management. They've been around forever. They've been around for a long time. They are a global organization, and they are very, very much a leader in PLM. And this is a really good option if you're looking for, kind of out of the box templated standards that are going to meet that configuration management standard. It is item-based. It is cloud-based as well, so you'll log into it. And again, because of the organization sizes that Eris really services, it's highly, highly scalable, right? It can go up to thousands and thousands and thousands of users. So really great if you're looking for a full-scale PLM solution. It also integrates very nicely with PDM as well. And it's, again, just having that kind of out-of-the-box capability and template is really great. There's and having those things like APQP and FMEA and all those other acronyms ready to go. And then I want to shift gears a little bit into DelmiaWorks. So DelmiaWorks used to be called IQMS. There is going to be a very cool presentation on that a little bit later today. But this is really getting into that resource planning side of things as well. So as you would expect, DelmiaWorks also is going to really affect the entire company, just like any ERP would, right? But it's been around for a long, long time. It's been in the industry for a long time. It is tried and true. There is a lot of interest around that, especially if you're looking for an ERP. Maybe you don't have one right now, or maybe you're looking at making a switch. A lot of interest on this stuff. And really, it's got a lot going on within it. I mean, you can see there, right from the order processing, design, straight through to shipping and getting the product out of the door, right? I mean, it's going to be an ERP, obviously, for resource planning. It's going to be able to handle MES with real-time monitoring. You're going to see a little bit of that, which is pretty cool. Quality, it's going to handle all of that stuff. It's going to handle supply chain management as well. So there's a lot of different aspects to DelmiaWorks. It's a very, very cool product. Again, we'll get into that a little bit later with Rob Hauser. He's going to show you how all of that works. But you can see, I mean, there's just tons and tons of different modules that you can utilize. So this is really going a little bit beyond the PDM and the manage. And this is really running the backbone of the company from that ERP standpoint. Now, we kind of talked about these four options, and these are great. But at the same time, what if I don't have anything? So if I've got no data management whatsoever, or maybe I want to be able to have easy to use data management. I don't necessarily want to invest too much on site, and I want to have as much collaboration as possible with different applications, different parts of my company, different people in my company. Well, there is one more option here as well, and you may have seen it before, right? You may have seen the 3D Experience platform, and it is getting better and better. It's being enhanced more often than a year. It's being enhanced every few months with functional deliveries. And this really does connect the entire team, even beyond data management. It does have, everyone in your organization will collaborate on the 3D Experience platform, so it will touch the whole organization. But everyone really has their own different applications that they can utilize, and they all talk, and they all collaborate together. And a lot of times it's as simple as a drag and a drop. So you do have Innovia and InnoviaWorks capability for your data management right out of the box. there is no setup there. It's a turnkey solution. You turn it on and you can start using it. Certainly you can configure it the way you want it, but it's out of the box. And it connects in with things like, SolidWorks, or if you want to design in the cloud, you've got Xshape and Xdesign, and rendering in the cloud, and all types of really connecting applications online. So that is absolutely another option as well. And hopefully this gives you a good idea of, what level would you be looking for? Or, if you're at a certain level, just what are your options going forward, or what can you plan for? Again, if there's any questions at all, throw them in the chat there. I'm sure that there's some that have been going already. Or come over to the expo. Come over to the SOLIDWORKS Expo. I'm more than happy to chat about it there as well. You can book a meeting with me if you'd like, and we'll talk later. But enjoy the rest of the events, and we'll see you soon.